a second. Cool, I did it right. Awesome. Now if I can hit the right button. Welcome, everyone, to the Average Intelligence Podcast. Almost said the wrong one. This podcast is brought to you by, I had it written down too. Shoot, what would you call that, Max? The special Dungeons and Dragons.
Really? You're gonna put me in the spotlight right away?
Well, no, hang
The
on, I'll figure it out.
international Dungeons and Dragons contest. I don't know the name. The name is so cool, but I keep forgetting the exactly phrasing.
Mystery of the Hidden Kingdom or something like. No, that sounds like an old game show. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that more. Legends of the Hidden Kingdom. That's the old game show. But we will talk about that later. For right now, as you saw in the thumbnail, Disney released, or I guess they gave us a first look, even though they weren't the first images that were released of the new Snow White movie. But there were some surprising things in that. Do you want to start us off, Haley, and explain what we saw?
All I could tell you is, explain it as is a monstrosity.
Which
It's a
by
monstrosity.
yeah, which by the way, for those who don't know, Haley is the host of the Part of Your Broadway World podcast, and Max, to my, what direction would you be, Max?
I got no idea, but because
You're my
you
right,
guys
but
are
screen
top of
left.
me right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on my bottom, so he's like below you and me.
Oh, so we're just all
Oh, so
jumbled.
we're not the same, Haley. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I know how you are.
But anyway, Virus Max.
I can be Virus Max.
Virus. Ooh,
Ooh.
I like it.
Virus Reloaded.
Virus Reloaded is my co-host on the Toon Talk 2.0 podcast, lead singer of the rock band Again and Forever. They are amazing, and he owns a waterless car wash.
Really? Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
Didn't know that about yourself. I almost said wireless car wash. That's confusing.
Imagine a wireless car wash. That means that you need to have a really good Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you lose connection, it just stops mid-wash.
So, yeah, nice. Thank you for inviting me. It's weird not to be thinking in the Toon Talk space, but when you told me about Haley and what we're gonna be talking about, I needed to be here because everybody knows how much I trash things that I don't like. So,
but you will defend Star Wars until the very end.
Yeah. I tried to say something else, but yeah.
I will. No, it's like no, yeah, that jives. But yeah, so the first thing I noticed is that the dwarfs that were, I wouldn't say they were absent, but they were reimagined, shall we say, in the original images that were released are dwarfs again, but they're CG dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I took away from that was, okay, Disney, I can't even wrap my head around the thought process here. So they had a chance to have some true diversity, often overlooked in Hollywood. They had the potential to cast 7 dwarf actors. And they elected to go, let's just call it what it is. They elected to go super diverse. Many people jokingly called the movie Snow White and the 7 racially diverse cast members because they were not dwarfs. They were of various colors, genders. I think there was one dwarf though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they've cast no real people.
And you know what? That drives me nuts. I wanna, of course, I don't know if what is your audience here, but it's a piece of shit what they're doing. You cannot take a story and do whatever you want. You want to do an adaptation, you can call it a Snow White the adaptation, right? But the simple fact that one of the things that the strike that has been almost a year for the actors is like, let's not use digital person. That's what I actually put this logo of my company because I talk about this probably in episode 3 in Toon Talk. We decided to stop this project that we were creating a whole digital human actors to prevail the actors to make money. So I understand why they're doing it. I will never understand why they're doing it wrong. I understand why they're doing it, but I feel it's stupid and disrespectful for the story, for the legend and iconic moment that Snow White represents for all the kids in the world, and for the simple fact that there's thousands of actors saying, let's not do digital. And they take the humans that they were really bad casted and they put us digital now. So
Mhm.
it's like fuck up over fuck up over fuck. It's like a
Yeah.
sandwich of fuck up.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
a
I
close
agree.
fuck up
I
sandwich.
agree. I totally 100% agree to this.
This movie is it's made up of fuck ups from day one. So actually, the one thing I don't disagree with was casting Gal Gadot as the evil queen. I think that actually, well, and here's the thing: it's not stellar casting. It's okay casting.
Yeah, but what the message is telling you, Jake? What is the message that the movie's sending? Forget about
Oh,
the
I
box
see.
office. For the message is we're gonna fucked up, but don't worry, we're gonna bring Wonder Woman to save the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's
and
what they're
then
doing.
yeah, oh, 100%. Except she was cast fairly on. It's my understanding, but the big issue, well, the second biggest issue with casting now that there are no real dwarfs in the movie. How much do you want to bet that the CG dwarfs? This is my theory that they're going with CG dwarfs because they shot a bunch of scenes already, and they're just gonna digitally superimpose the CG dwarfs over the real actors that they hired initially to be the diverse cast.
We all know that the person that was in front of this in Disney, not just the movie, this new reanimation thing, she got fired. She got fired like 4 months ago. And the moment that she got fired, I don't understand why they didn't stop this project because it's part of her legacy. When I meant that they brought Gargle Dot, I went back before they start filming. My brain is when they present it to the studio, you need to add somebody that is well known because that's the way that the distribution level will become a fruition that distribute anyone with a little piece of brain, right? When you see this as a distributor, if you see it, doesn't matter if it's Disney or not, it's condemned to fail.
Yeah.
There's no a way that it's going to work out. So the only way to do that is that they push uh, Wonder Woman on it because that will. Everything is about negotiations when it comes to distribution. It's not about talent. It's not about. I mean, it's about talent as an actor, but it's not about talent in the movie per se of the good development. It's about the negotiations. So the simple fact that they're disrespecting all the actors putting digital humans. The simple fact that probably the only thing that could save the movie, I'm gonna give it to you, Haley and Jake. Are you ready? Is if the seven dwarfs are called fucked up, fuckity, fucked it up, well fucked it, and just something like that, just to make it better.
If
Because I
if
know
it
the
if it just becomes a parody,
yeah, because if it's a parody, it will be fantastic because people will understand. When I remember, I don't know if you guys remember at the beginning of this uh, endeavor called Snow White bullshit. They say sorry. I'm opening my mouth too much, Jake. I apologize. Let me rephrase that. At the beginning of this beautiful endeavor of a misguided motion picture of bullshit, the simple fact that they decide that she wasn't gonna be kissed by the prince because she wasn't. Remember, I love your two faces. Is not gonna kiss her because she didn't consent for the kiss. Okay, first of all, dude, that's the legend. The true love will wake you up from that. From that. Now, what's he gonna do? Tickle his, his toes? That's what we're looking for. I never thought that a movie will be worse than the porn version of the real movie. Well, you invite me to this, Jake. You invite me, Haley. But no, I mean, I'm speechless to the resolve of what they're doing. But as we know, Hollywood is about the narrative, and no one in the strike is condemning because nobody gonna want to get into a fight with Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, regardless of how much money the actor makes, the studios will make always more money, the producers more money, and the directors too.
But isn't it ironic that, in the middle of an actors and writers strike, or is the writer's strike over? I don't follow it
Okay,
hardcore.
The
yeah,
writer's
people
strike
don't
is
know.
over.
Okay.
It's not over. They cross negotiations. They haven't started writing again. Not everything is signed, so they haven't gone back to work. So it's like Lenny Kravitz's song isn't over till it's over, because they haven't returned. Yeah, they cross negotiation. They come to an arrangement, but they haven't started. At least at this time right now.
Yeah.
Last time I checked.
But it's like you just said, I can't believe the irony of Disney on arguably one of the, or what should be one of the biggest projects they've ever done, considering the legacy of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs for that company, to do the very thing that the Actors Guild is on strike for. It's like,
yeah,
and nobody's
yeah.
taking up a storm. That's mind-boggling to me.
And I don't want to jump away from the theme, but we talk about it many times in our podcast as friends around. This whole strike is more than protecting the actors. It's a political movement because there's been three solutions in the table, and the representative Fran Dresser, alias the nanny, right, doesn't want to take that. It's about integrity. It says, yeah, and she jumps with her driver and drives back to her mansion because the nanny continue making royalties because it's syndicate, regardless if she's in a strike or not. But all the people underneath, the dreamers that go to LA, try to get an agent, they're surviving serving tables and 2 or 3 jobs a month, those ones are the ones getting destroyed. I don't see George Clooney throw $150 million to solve the strike. He said, I will put $150 million from my own money right now. So we continue working. And she said, no, it's about the principle. So she doesn't want to solve it. And if she doesn't want to solve it, obviously, going back to Disney, what a producer is going to do. He's already there. He's already bleeding. He can even wait for the beat up, right? Or let himself die. That's the producer do. What are they going to do? They need to change the drawers because it was really bad. I mean, we all saw the scenes when we saw the drawers not being. So it's like, dude, they needed to change it. But that's what. Who's directing the movie? I forgot the name. Okay, so the integrity of this director, I think, is a she. The thing is, they changed so much about this project that I don't know who's in and is not anymore.
Mark Webb is directing.
Can you check who Mark Webb is and what he's done in the past?
I feel like I've heard his name before, so yeah, let me...
What is the integrity of you doing a project like that? Like you say, so important for the legacy of Disney, because that's what started Disney after the choo-choo with Mickey Mouse, right? If Walt Disney were alive, well, we'll have the Third Reich ruling. But besides of that, if he were alive, he will hate this moment for Disney.
Yeah.
We already messed it up with The Lion King.
Oh, let's be real. They've messed it up with the vast majority of the live action remakes. So not, this should be a no-brainer. Director of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And to be fair, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, keep going.
One episode of The Office.
Wow, that guy's a killer.
Okay, hang on. Directed 500 Days of Summer.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, we're going. A lot of music videos.
Well, I got a lot of music videos, and I wouldn't fuck this bad.
I don't know that this is all him, although, yeah, it looks like the vast majority of his work is music videos. And then a couple of, now I can't defend The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was a disaster.
That's a bad movie.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
Oh, 100% a disaster.
Kind of much like this movie. Yeah, we'll get on to Rachel's. I do want to say before we start trashing Rachel Zegler's behavior, in press. I want to say I'm actually a fan of hers. I loved her in West Side Story. But after this, I've lost a lot of respect for her just as a person, just because
Yep.
it's like, well, and we'll compare. I don't know if you two are aware of this, but Daily Wire announced that they are producing their own Snow White film, Snow White and the Evil Queen, starring Brett Cooper. And if you compare, we'll get into this a little bit more later. If you compare those actresses and what they've said in the press, it's a no-brainer as to which movie is going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And one is gonna be a political and trying to restore the order of Snow White, and the other one is, I mean, don't take me wrong. I wish I could explain better how a movie actually gets done, because, like you say, it's not all about the director, but it's all about the director. It's not about the producer, but it's all about the producers. In my experience making movies in the Hollywood level, just a meeting, you have 8 producers, from 7 to 8 producers. Which one of those are helping to bring the money, or the studio, or the distribution? So you have, like, it's like a high school. You got the good producers, the evil producers, the mean producers, the cool producers, and the nerd producers in different groups. And you have the director and the writer. Suddenly, at day one, let's erase Snow White. One producer said, "You know what? I have experience writing. Why don't we rewrite the script?" You have other 7 there that they might support it or not, but the director say yes. If they rewrite it, it's when the messed up things started. But wait, then the director wanna be in the rewriting as well. Why? Because if their name is in there, they will make more money in royalties.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's business, business, business. As far as I know, and I'm trying to check online, Gal Gadot is one of the producers, executive producers. So I saw an interview that really was complicated, because we have the little new actress, whatever, there, and say, "No, we have a special way to describe Disney." And Gal Gadot hold her, and you guys watch it. Her arm goes to her shoulder and says, "Yeah, we're doing everything better, and to respect people." That's called physical control, right? She's the one rolling the things. Just watch it and analyze it more than just the movie, just as psychological behavior, and you can see how even she's cutting all her phrases. What is the name of the actress?
Rachel
Uh,
Zegler.
Rachel Zegler. She's talking and Gal Gadot is stopping, because Gal Gadot is an important person in the industry now. If she retires right now, billions of dollars will be lost. Right? So, like I say, so now you have the story and the 8 producers. Now the producers that they're doing the product placement will put their input. Then the people that is having connections with the studio will start listening to the studio and present the final script to the studio. And then the studio geniuses will say, "Well, you know what? Let's make the dwarfs, different." They go to the producer. The producer communicates with the director. The director in the private meeting probably says, "Fantastic," probably says, "It's over. This is stupid. It's bad." Right? Regardless, the studio is putting the money and the distribution. And I'm talking on a normal movie based in my experience. Imagine the beast that is Disney saying, "Hey, I want you to make this movie, put your team together and come with an idea." Usually, for us to be able to talk about a movie, they have 3 or 4 options, and they will go with the one that they like the best
Mm-hmm.
in the perception of the person that they just fired, the one that just got fired. I don't, like I said, I don't understand what is the point to keep a movie. Remember what happened with Catwoman? I mean, with Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
If
yeah.
it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. Fans gonna get mad. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna get over it. But destroy a thing like that, what they're gonna do with Snow White, is
Well, they've
crazy.
they've put themselves in a corner now because it's of any project they've ever. I mean, it's Snow White. It's
Yeah.
the first full length animated feature. Disney. It's the project that brought out Disney as a major Hollywood studio. And they've reached a point now that it really doesn't matter what they do unless they scrap the whole thing and start from scratch. But then that would just drive the cost up so much more that they could. I'm not going to say they'd never recoup their money, but they would be hard pressed. Now, my my personal opinion, Disney has enough money that I think their legacy is more important, especially long term financially. I think they should scrap it personally, but I'm not so naive as to think that a Hollywood studio would, especially one like Disney, would do that.
More when you
No.
have a strike, you don't have materials, you don't have nothing to release. I mean, Disney Plus best success. Tell me best success right now. Boba Fett. Uh,
Well, actual success,
yeah. Disney Plus.
yeah, I'd probably The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. Okay. Uh, you see how hard it is for us, and we do this for a living. You see how hard it is for us now.
Now let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Can you think of anything, Haley? Because I'll be honest, I fired Disney Plus not that long ago, so I'm not.
I mean, me too. I caught it too. I don't have it like 2 months ago. It was. I don't even watch.
Well, and to be fair, not to cut Haley off, but I think Disney Plus's biggest success is just having the catalog of Disney films on there. But as far as new content, can you think of anything?
Oh, no, because like you, I literally canceled my subscription because I'm like, this is getting expensive, and they've raised the prices. By the way, I wanted to point that out. So I'm not getting it ever again.
Oh wait, it's gonna go higher, Haley.
Yeah, it's gonna go to like $17.
Oh, it's gonna go higher after the strike is over.
Oh well.
Because now the actors want royalties for streaming.
Oh
Yeah.
well, maybe I should let you guys know that there's a Hulu promo. You get Disney Plus and Hulu for $9.99 a month.
But don't you think that is annoying that we finally have the option to select, and because everybody's raising the prices, we need to go back and buy a cable? Now Hulu or YouTube that holds other. If you buy Amazon, you have many. It's not a commodity. It's actually what happened with the cable at the beginning. You have all the channels. They put it in a bundle for you.
Yeah.
And now that's what they're doing. And it's annoying that we do a step forward in society, and then economics and I'm the most capitalist person you will ever met, right? And I'm not in favor of that, but
well, part of the reason they're doing, other than the money, the reason they started doing that with cable is I think they actually passed a law where, and I don't mean minority as in racial minority, they called them minority networks, meaning they're networks that the only reason you would have seen them is because they were on a cable bundle. Other than that, nobody. El Rey Network is a very good example, which is not a bad network. I actually had a lot of fun with El Rey. They didn't have a lot of original programming, but one of them was Lucha Underground, which I adored. It was the only reason I knew El Rey Network existed. It was so difficult and expensive finding a cable plan where I could get the El Rey Network. It was frustrating.
Or ESPN El Ocho.
El Ocho, yeah, we need.
They added ESPN two to that bundle too, which is crazy. I just remember that.
They added ESPN too?
Yeah.
What I find funny about that is at least the bundle that I had before I fired them was Hulu and Disney Plus, and then I got ESPN for a penny. I was like, well, I can tell where your priorities are.
Yeah. So let me get back. I want to work something with you guys, and if you allow me, please stop me. And obviously, I'm a Latino. I love Latinos shining in Hollywood. However, if the people that is looking at this podcast follows Toon Talk, I hate when you have a perfect story and you want to destroy it just to put your name out there, right? I've been in entertainment since I'm 12, and now that I'm 15, right? These 3 hard years of my life, but I wanna go to the cast of Snow White with you and dismantle the necessities. Everything is gonna be from IMDb. Our Snow White is Rachel right?
Zegler,
Segler.
yeah. Yep.
Segler. You know what Snow White is called Snow White? Because she's white. Her white skin like is recited in the original book.
Well, and
Why'd
then
you
like
put a Latina?
that's so well known is skin as white as snow, red lips red as the rose, black hair as the night. I'm like, mm,
Well, they got 2 out of
And
3.
yeah.
yeah, man, but there's a lot of people that build an idea of being famous in Hollywood that they grew up in Indiana, right? Or in
Hmm.
Philadelphia, that mom and dad tell them, you look like a Snow White. And they did a Snow White and they moved to Hollywood and now they're doing OF because, and I understand. Do you want me to use the name? I
No,
know, or
I
you want
didn't.
we get closer.
I didn't know what you were talking about at first, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Only feet. Only feet. Um,
You need to buy that, by the
so
way.
Rachel, I try $7,000. It's crazy. I'm gonna do it.
Ooh.
Rachel Segler, don't take me wrong, her agent did a magnificent job putting this for her. So it's not her fault. At her age and doing the things that she done after West Side Story, the remake, wasn't a success.
Mm.
It
It
should have
wasn't a
been.
success. It should, yeah, but she doesn't sing like the original. She's not
Oh
a good
no,
performer.
No.
So that cuts the movie because if you watch West Side Story, the original, right, it's a different matter, right? And let's remember that West Side Story is an adaptation from Shakespeare, right?
like
And
everything.
they like everything in the world. But so we have Rachel being a Snow White, what is supposed to be snow brown, right? And I'm a Latino. I'm not trashing her. This is Snow White. This is Snow Brown. Her mom is from Colombia. Her dad is from the States. Number one, why we're doing that? And don't tell me diversification because, like I say, the person that was pushing that got fired because she did a bad job.
Well, the whole company wants brownie points. That's it's
Yeah,
virtue
Yeah.
I
signaling.
know, bro. But Rachel Segler is not Latina. Just look Latina. Her mom is Colombian. You know what I mean? What I'm saying. Then we have Gal Gadot. If you guys go to IMDb, you have one fake pictures with all the digital dwarfs. Then we have 8 pictures. Okay, the first picture is Gal Gadot and Rachel Segler. Second picture, Gal Gadot and Rachel Segler. Third picture, guess what? Come on, you guys have it. Gal Gadot and Rachel.
Well, to be fair,
Then Gal.
that's all they have left of the movie now.
No, but you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They know it's a fucked up. Gal Gadot, with all due respect, I never thought I was gonna say this, but what was the name of Malefica? Remember the movie
Oh,
Maleficent?
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
That's a fantastic witch, and I don't like
Oh,
Angelina Jolie.
the character
No, no,
was.
the character.
Mm.
Part of deliver a good movie is that you need to look the part.
Yeah.
Right? And I know we're talking about the whole of the movie, but I want to dismantle how we got to the messed up. If
Yeah.
our lead character is already out of the character, we have a mistake there.
Yeah.
Then we have Jonathan Andrew Bornap. I don't recognize the guy. I don't know if you know who he is. He is an actor. I don't know where he's been. The Chaperone, Under the Banner of Heaven. I know the show We Crash. I don't remember him, to be honest with that. So who is he? Probably another person that has the same agent, because I really don't know who that guy is. Then we have the Huntsman, Ansu Kavia.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the Huntsman. Probably I'm stupid. Everybody knows that I'm zero racist, for God's sake. I live in America, being from South America. But who is Ansu Kavia? Last Christmas, he was Rufus in Last Christmas. Any one of you watched Last Christmas?
Mm-mm.
More the Orient Express, he was the police captain, so probably he got 2 lines. There's nothing again, so there's nothing to support the cast, as you can see. Then we have Colin Michael Carmichael, doesn't say what he does in the movie. And then we have Artisan Tree, Dancer Tree, Apple Farmer, Dancer, Maple, Dancer, Artisan, Dancer, The Guard, Dancer, 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 Dancer. That's not a cast, guys. That's not a cast.
It's not
Just
a
tell
cat.
me
No.
Dancer, Dancer, Villager, Dancer, Dancer, Villager, Villager. It's like, dude. Now, something that if you go to IMDb and you put script writers, it says Doherty and Blank and 10 more. I know that many, I haven't clicked on it. I know many is going to be the original writers. So we have Doherty and Blank, that it was the 1935 film adaptation from the book, the original one. Then Richard Creighton, the same year. Marilyn Demaris, Otto Eglander, and then we have Greta Gerwig that is doing this. That she wrote Lady Bird. You guys remember Lady Bird?
Yep.
Well, and Barbie.
And Barbie.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Wait.
okay, mystery solved to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's what I'm decomposing the factors why we have such a big fuck up. Of course, Barbie, right? We got Mistress America, Frances Ha, Dua Lipa. Why knows again? Probably her best work is not Barbie in box office. It's Jackie, that it was released like 10 years ago. Sorry if I'm being anal with this. You told me to get in crazy with this, so here I am. Sorry, Haley, if I'm talking too much. You can tell me to shut up any second.
No, we
Then
are
we
here.
have
We're here to rip it a new one. So be my guest.
Jacob Grimm and Willie Grimm, that obviously they're rolling right now in the tombs, the Grimm brothers, because what the hell are you doing with my story? Then we have Erin Cressida Wilson. Do you know who that is? Is he registered as rewriter and the remake of the script? She directed The Secretary, a screenplay in 2002. Chloe, The Girl in the Train, Men, Women, and Children. Please stop me if you know any of these movies.
I've seen two of them, Secretary and The Girl on the Train.
And what do you think about those movies? Because I know what I'm going to say, but what do you think about these movies?
Secretary was super weird and oddly paced, and The Girl on the Train, it was easy enough to understand, but again, it was oddly paced. So I guarantee you, this movie is going to be extremely slow and oddly paced.
Yep.
Because they're putting their personal interest in front of the general interest, and I can't get tired of telling that that's the biggest problem in this society. And I look into my personal interest instead of everyone interest, we become Rome at the end of Rome. Everyone thinks that it's going to be Caesar, but they don't have the power to be an emperor.
And they end up playing their lyres watching the city burn.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, that's only alleged. There's no actual confirmed evidence that happened, but I believe it.
So now I'm asking myself, after reading you all this, they really got this cast? They really got this project? Or they just put all the pieces together to try to solve a dream?
Solve a dream.
Yeah, somebody's dream.
Yep.
I want to make a Snow White with this Latina girl because Latinos deserve it. And you know what? Who's going to direct her? Nobody wants it. Bring Webb. He fucked it up a couple of times, but at least we know his name. Hey.
Hey, we don't have to pay him as much.
Of course, that's how a movie gets done.
Exactly.
Hey, Gal Gadot, remember that I helped you 5 years ago? Why don't you come and we make a new version of a Snow White? I'm pretty sure at this point, Gal Gadot is like, what the fuck I'm doing here?
She literally should have just said no.
Oh, I don't know. She made
You can't say no in Hollywood. You can't say no in Hollywood because then they don't call you again.
That's true. Look what happened to Kevin Sorbo.
True.
If she says no to Disney, she will be banned from Disney. And for her to have a meeting, he got a publicist, a manager, a personal manager, an entertainment lawyer, and at least 5 agents in CAA that I'm pretty sure she's in CAA. So all those people need to convince her to make this happen. So when she say maybe, that's it. Actually, the person that told her, "I got the new Snow White for you," he got to be fired yesterday,
Well,
right?
maybe at the time, no, but certainly because I'll be honest, at the beginning stages, like whether I was working in Hollywood or new, if my agent called me up and said, "Hey, I got you a role in a Disney movie," even if it was one of the live action remakes, which I hate, I'd be like, "Cool, I'll give a stab at it." Maybe mine can
Something
be
that I
different.
yeah, something I respect about her is that she actually thinks about how to give those answers. See, a real actor is made by their choice, not by their talent, man.
Right. And by the way, though, but the difference between taking a stab at it and then completely annihilating it with like 1,000 stabs, like in a horror movie, that's a difference.
True,
True.
but Gal Gadot is no stranger at this because she went through Wonder Woman 2 or Wonder Woman 1984.
I get it, but guess what? That was in a realm of success, regardless of any situation. Because the real and the movement of the superheroes, it was gonna bring her. Tell me another superhero movie as successful as Wonder Woman,
Oh,
a female superhero.
I'm not talking about the first one. I'm talking about the second one.
Yeah, 1994. I know. Actually, I prefer 1994 than the first one. To be honest with you, I don't like them either. I don't. But again, sorry that I'm like the
Hang on. Tell me one good thing about Wonder Woman
cheetah,
1984.
the outfit, the music.
You liked the outfit?
Yeah, it's totally 80s, trendy 80s. It's
And yet
not real 80s. It's
and
one 80s.
okay, but it was, and this is chief reason number one I hate Wonder Woman 1984 because it was a terrible script and
Oh yeah.
they completely ignored the rest of the universe, which DC, I can give Marvel a ton of shit, but DC's just as bad with their superhero extended universe,
Yeah.
if not worse, because okay, in Wonder Woman 1984, we're not even going to get into the whole morality of the body snatching thing, which was just odd, but so she gets new armor, learns how to fly, remembers that she can make shit invisible, has her invisible plane, and yet the 30 some odd years later, when Justice League takes place, she's got none of it.
Agreed? But just think about this. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed pirate is the king. Why? Because there's not other female superhero. Because Marvel, please, Miss Marvel, I like that, dude. That's not for the people that they're just listening, not watching. I just hang myself. I shoot with my fake finger gun, right? Um, but let's not go into Wonder Woman, right? If you will, I want to jump into the producers of the Snow White. That's good with you guys.
Yeah.
By mistake, Gal Gadot is not a producer, so I don't know what the hell she's doing there. We have executive producer Callum McDougall. Now this is weird. He is well known for Mary Poppins Returns, The Spectre, and 1917. However, wait. However, he's in the unit production. He's not an executive producer, right? He's an executive producer in Harry Potter, the one, the Prisoner of Azkaban, your favorite one. And I keep saying it's a piece of crap, but you see, I'm
Wait,
right.
when did you say it was a piece of crap?
I say hate in the last episode of Toon Talk. I destroyed Harry Potter because a copy of Star Wars. Let's
I
not go into that.
like
Oh,
both of you are probably gonna hate me for this, but I don't like any of the Harry Potters.
I love you already, Haley. I hate Harry Potter. I think it's a really bad movie.
Wait.
don't.
Wait. Time out.
Give
Hang
me
on.
5, Haley. Give me 5.
What? Neither of you? Seriously?
No.
Yeah.
None of them? I'm not.
Come.
The fourth one sucks. I'll give you that. Best part of that is when Robert Pattinson dies. But
I'm just gonna tell you something. the same producer of that is the same producer of the movie that we are destroying. Make the math.
Well, the difference is the Harry Potter film franchise was done, in the scheme of things, it was done well, and it made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, drug dealers make a shit ton of money. That doesn't mean
And they do it well.
Okay, but here's the thing though. They, after the Harry Potter series ended, they also did the Fantastic Beasts
Oh, and those were
movies.
awful.
Those were awful too.
Oh yeah, no, those were terrible.
But at this moment, we are understanding what's going on. We have a cast with two writers that they want to say, I'm feminist, the woman is everything, diversity is everything, because I want to be so individualist that I'm going to use my own perception of reality to damage the world with my legacy to the kids. I'm not going to create a legacy of goodwill. That's my perception. They can sue me. I got a great lawyer. But then I'm going to go to the executive, the producer, that is going to guide us. Why is more important in Hollywood to make a name of yourself and have people to talk about you that actually have a person respect you? I'm not going to jump because it's crazy to compare this crap movie that we haven't even seen to The Godfather, right? But executive producer of The Godfather find himself be respected for and the producer of Snow White and the movies that I'm going to name you, he's always been specific for do something different and out of the box that makes people talk about him, and he makes a living for that. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm saying that the way that he does things is going to mark you the right answers of why Snow White is what it is.
Before
He's
you
the
do
producer.
that, though,
yeah, go ahead.
Before you do that, though, I wanted to answer Jake. The reason why I don't like them is because they're boring.
They're boring.
They're
really boring.
I'm going to pretend my headphones are off. I'm insulted. The fourth one is boring. I will give you that. But the rest of them,
boring.
I don't know what to say.
Well, Vox Populi said that at least in this podcast, we win. The Vox Populi won.
But the thing is, my girlfriend will agree with you, Jake, because my girlfriend also is like, why don't you like Harry Potter? And I'm like, because they're boring. And she makes fun of me for it all the time. She picks on me. I'm like, just don't like them.
Yeah, I'm with you, but
if I had a witty retort, I would use it right now. But I don't.
Well, hold a second. Did you just say that if you have a witty? That's exactly what you just say.
Witty.
Oh, sorry. So you said witty. I got like, dude.
A witty.
I'm the crazy guy in this podcast.
A witty retort, a retort of wit.
But you don't, so haha.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
You got nothing, bro.
I got nothing.
Another net to continue that remark. I Harry Potter nerd. But sorry, going back of this, he's the producer, and wait till I get there, right? In he produced Aladdin that you hate, Jake.
Oh, the live action one, yeah.
He produced Cruella. He produced The Little Mermaid. He produced La La Land. So you see?
Okay, I like La La Land.
No, I like La La Land too, but it's not what it's supposed to be because they don't sing and they don't dance, man. And when you compare La La Land with Jim Kelly and whoever, that Fred Astaire and the people that used to do dancing and singing, it's nothing. Don't take me wrong, I like it. But the thing that Mark Platt has done perfectly is grab something, do it different, so it's in the mouth of everyone. So everybody's talking about him. So how are you gonna say no to a guy that has in his big movie La La Land so many awards? That Cruella was celebrated by everyone. Then he does The Little Mermaid, and I mean the guy knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, that should have been their first. That should have been their first red flag.
Yeah, so you see, you cannot there's a saying in Spanish that says, no le puedes pedir pera a un olmo, that refers to you cannot ask a stone to bleed.
Mm-hmm.
If the general producer that is already fucked it 3 times, at least, in his career, not with La La Land, The Little Mermaid, Babylon, do you guys remember Babylon? Did you watch Babylon? Did you wanted to watch Babylon? Because the
I
cast was fantastic, but did you watch it? No, Babylon is the cast is Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. It was so bad, Olivia Wilde. It was so bad that it didn't stay in the movies more than 2 weeks. Babylon, and it's or three. Call me, but again, you have a guy that comes from nowhere, doing small movies, and then suddenly he makes La La Land, and La La Land. If you really analyze the movie, it's a referendum or a
it's a modern spin on that sort of genre of, like you said, the Fred Astaire sort
yeah,
of.
Ginger Rogers and all that. But for more, I love the people that act because I
Mm-hmm.
like Emma Stone and I like Ryan Gosling and I love J.K. Simmons. They're not there, bro. They're not in that level. It's like if you want me to dance ballet right now, yeah, with CGI and with a lot of stunt artists, I'm gonna look great. But it's not what we're supposed to. Now, La La Land was a different story because they got the producer of Whiplash. Remember Whiplash?
Yep.
Whiplash is a really good movie that cost 1% of what the other movies cost. 1%. So, sorry, it was the writer and the director. The writer and director from Whiplash was La Land, but the producer. Remember how I start this? The director is there, and everybody start telling them what to do. Who make this idea from Snow White a reality? Mark Platt. He's the man with the power. You guys watch The Little Mermaid? Did you watch that movie?
I
Are you
refused.
okay, Haley?
I did. I mistakenly did.
Can you explain me something,
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Yeah.
Give us the scuttlebutt.
Just explain
No.
me this. Just explain me one simple thing. Why the prince is white and his mom is black? When the
That
Little Mermaid is black and the dad is Latino.
that is what I was wondering too. Among other things, that was
No,
just one thing. I have multiple things wrong with this freaking movie. I'm
I know. So what I'm saying, how would we expect the stone to bleed? You can't.
yeah.
And you know what? Mark Platt is not gonna finish his career there because the next he did something really good in 2020 called the Trial of Chicago 7. That if he stay in that line,
Mhm.
he will magnificent. But Hollywood is a strange beast. He tried something different. He did La La Land, and now he's there, man. He's not gonna lose that path because I wonder who Julie Barrett is. He's married with her, and it's like that is in his bio. Born in April 1957 in Maryland, he's a producer and actor known from La La Land, The Trail of Chicago, and Cruella. He has been married to Julie Barron since the 1st of July of 1979. They have 5 children. That's the only thing that his bio
Mhm.
says. You want me to read you the bio of a guy that works in The Godfather, or Francis Ford Coppola, or Oliver Stone?
Well, I mean, we got a couple hours, so yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, uh, I think that this is a inside political
Mhm.
movement of
Mhm.
the real connections. And if the guy that won La La Land called you and say, "Hey, gal, I'm planning to do something like La La Land, but before I need you to do Snow White," what are you gonna say? Oh no, go fuck yourself. No, she's gonna do it.
Oh no, she's gonna do it. But I think what here's the well, not it's not the only tragedy, but here's one of the tragedies of this movie is it's not going to be good, and yet they're gonna go back to the Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson well of if anybody criticizes this movie, and it's almost like they did this on purpose with the casting, if anybody criticizes this movie, anybody who makes a negative comment is, oh, well, they're just a racist, or, they're just a bigot,
Mm-hmm.
they're just haters. It's like, no, there's legitimate criticism. Like, true, there are people that have issue with, racial casting. Like, The Little Mermaid did cause an uproar when they announced Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a stickler for accuracy. Like you said, first of all, Snow White takes place in Germany, which is a real place. And the character is described as such in the original tale and every other version until now. That's a bit different than a fictional character like a mermaid that lives in the ocean. And I actually made this point. I was like, technically in canon, there are mermaids that are the same complexion as, black people that live on land. So that's not, because my biggest annoyance is when even a fictional story breaks its own rules.
Yeah.
So to me, the race of the the race of the actress who played Ariel was inconsequential to me. What I hated about that movie was they just, like every other live action Disney remake thus far, except maybe for Cinderella, is they took a concept that already worked and they just changed things for the sake of changing them, whether it be casting, whether it be, and first of all, they're messing with the music. Don't mess with the music of the Disney Renaissance. It is perfect. Leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't Lin-Manuel Miranda Alan Menken.
I know, but you gotta understand that Lin-Manuel Miranda has so much power in the industry that he needed a piece of the cake.
Oh, I know.
This is a business.
He shouldn't have a piece of the cake. Like, Scuttlebutt, okay, getting back to The Little Mermaid for a minute. Scuttlebutt was a terrible song. I wanted to burn my eyes.
And your ears.
But guess what?
Ears.
You guys remember that song actually went viral on TikTok? That's the world that we're living.
Well, going viral on TikTok does not necessarily mean it's of good quality.
Yeah.
But like the point that you say with the drug, like I say with the joke of the drug dealers, is the result of the audience. If we don't, and don't take me wrong, I don't expect a Disney movie to change the world nowadays, because we don't accept Disney as the Imagineers and development geniuses that's supposed to be, because we always looking for the bad in everything. But when you touch a thing like this, I feel speechless to see how they're destroying a legacy that it was so well done.
But here's the thing that just pisses me off the most is Disney can still be that company even after everything they've done. They can still do.
They own everything.
Well, it's not just that. They have the talent. Like, I'm trying to think of the most recent one, but like, just for example, Toy Story 3, or even better example, Toy Story 4. I thought that movie was going to be the shits. It was really good. Now, my expectations may have been lower, which I will bring you back to the aforementioned Toy Story 3. I forget what year it came out, but that was at an age where I didn't think I could be emotionally moved by a Disney / Pixar movie anymore. And it did.
If you're not being moved by the fact that they're holding hands as they're going into the incinerator, like, come on.
That's the one that got me. And then I recovered and I thought I was okay. And then they hit me with the end and I was like, fuck you guys.
There's an art that is getting lost in Hollywood that is called the iconography of an image. Now society is so obtuse and slow that they need to give them everything. Because if you remember Harry Potter, when it was directed by a Mexican, wait.
I know.
He didn't put a kid with a mariachi sombrero. No, he put a kid in the skulls like the other Muertos, created an iconography of the resemblance of his sculpture. Mm-hmm. That is class. I know that is the first time that we talk, Haley. Your name is like my stepdaughter, so that's fantastic, right? I watch a movie every day. It's like person read books, I watch movies. Besides, I watch TV shows all day, I,
Mhm.
I do this for a living. Today, I watched Saving Private Ryan. I cry again, bro. I've seen that movie 15 times and I
Mhm.
cry again. Why? Because the stories need to move us and the characters need to have an empathy with us. That what I'm saying, I'm bringing all this because as the iconography of the message and the subtext is lost in this generation, that's what they support ideas like, oh, let's make Snow White Latina. Oh, and let's make the hunter black. It's not about race. It's about the consumer that they don't read between lines anymore, and they cannot do it the right way
Mhm.
as the
Yeah.
cinematography involved. Because cinematography is not about just make a movie. It's
Mhm.
about the image to give you more
Mhm.
than the text, and the text create a subtext of information
Mhm.
that involve the movie. And I named the movie that I watched today because from all the beauty and hardness and strongness, there's one scene in
Mhm.
that movie that if you guys don't remember it for the audience on YouTube, I invite you to watch the movie and remember this. When the mother of Ryan gets informed that his three brothers died, she doesn't talk. We don't see her face, but we saw the camera inside the house opening the door. She walks out, and the door, as is open, in the right, we see the pictures of a happy family. The four brothers, the dad is never in the pictures. The pictures of a happy family when all the information is there. And she's nervous. The car stops. The military comes out. But when
Mhm.
the military open the door and the priest come out, she slowly feels defeat because she knows a bad thing for one of her sons. But actually, they're gonna tell her that she was three. Steven Spielberg didn't have to give us a black priest, a Mexican soldier, and the mom saying, because that is the message of the subtext of an image. That is lost nowadays in the movies.
Mhm.
It's really lost because the society needs to consume that. And Jake, Disney know this. If I go right now and tell, you know what, I want to make a movie. Remember, the Lord of the Rings, right? The Return of the King, when Frodo holds the the hand here and holds the ring, in the side of the mountain. That is an autography of the David of Michelangelo. That generation, the generation next, we're like, oh, I know that reference because my cultural level of information is more than a scroll. And I'm not criticizing this generation. I love this generation for many things. But Disney, to answer why they keep doing all this, because they know this, Jake. So they're gonna sell crap to the crap consumers. You cannot give an obese person a salad. You need to give them some Cheetos and a 7 Up. If not, so it's something that we now it's gonna be well done. The movie's gonna be. I was looking who is the cinematographer. Elvis, Mulan, Australia, Hidden Figures. I mean, the woman knows how to move a camera. The movie is gonna look amazing. The direction is gonna be obscene. The producer is creating something for people to talk about because we're doing a podcast about this. So you see, they are feeding the obese. They're throwing shit to the pig.
Mhm.
So that's to answer your question. All that BS that I thought is to answer your question on how they continue doing this because they're
Mhm.
good marketers.
Yeah, well, but the point I always keep making though is like, let's take just it's not the best example, but it's the one that I can think of. The Back to the Future franchise. It was it was a weird idea, but they executed it so well. Everything of the first movie, at least, is like I think it's perfect. Perfect casting, perfect script. The music was great, cinematography's great, everything's great. For the time, the special effects were on point, and for the most part, they aged pretty well, and a lot of it was practical. They said after the third one, Zemeckis and all of them, they said, we will never make another one ever. It's done. Now, it's branched off into some comic books and animated series, a video game, blah, blah, blah. But as far as the movies go, they said they will never, ever, ever, ever make another one.
And it's
And
on
yeah,
Broadway.
it is really.
Yeah, it's on Broadway.
I need to see this. But My point is, it was so good that even generations removed, there are still going to be Back to the Future fans. It's a property that will perpetually make money and be beloved. And what I keep saying is, this is one of the few things in life where you can literally have it all. You can have high quality narratives that move you, narratives that tell a timeless, story or theme or feeling, what have you, a timeless story. It can make ridiculous money, and it can continue to make ridiculous money. And what I don't understand for the life of me is why and it's not just Disney, it's almost every studio with certain notable exceptions, rare exceptions today. Why would you not try to take that approach instead of this quick cash grab? Because, yes, for example, the Disney live action remakes, they've made a lot of money in their box office. I wonder if 20 years from now, let's use Aladdin as another example. I don't know what the box office numbers were, but let's just say.
From the cartoon or from Will Smith?
For both, because I'm going to do a comparison. Are you going to... I would wager to say that 20 years from now, the original Aladdin, the animated version from 1992, will be still generating about the same amount of money as it has been since it's been released, and the live action one will be sharply decreased in the revenue it brings in.
They won't, and you're forgetting something called international rights of royalties. They need to keep redoing the remakes so they continue owning the rights. If they don't do the remakes, it will become public possession. If they don't do Snow White right now, in 2 years or 3, I think it will be public.
It's already public. That's how Daily Wire's getting away with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But like what you say, Robert Zemeckis paid his dues to become Robert Zemeckis. He did bad things, he did good things, but even the bad were good. But again, if you put to a 7-year-old kid, Back to the Future right now, Jake, I'm sorry, he's gonna get bored because the target market is not for them.
Funny you should mention that though. My 7-year-old nephew adored all three.
Adores all three because of his uncle Jake talked good about it.
That's fair.
Or adores it because it's good. That's what I say the age exactly, because I know you're going to use that example.
I would give you the first one. If he watched the first one, he wanted to watch. He actually, this is funny. And I know this is a case of one. This is not a good argument for those watching. It's not a good argument, but it's funny you mentioned that because he was 7 years old at the time.
I say it for a reason.
I brought him. My family gets together for Thanksgiving. I brought all three of them. We watched the first one. He liked it. We watched the second one. He liked it. But then everybody was kind of like delayed sitting down and watching the third one. And he's kind of trying to corral everybody into the living room to watch Back to the Future Part 3 because he wanted to see how the story ended. And I get what you're saying. That's rare, but
it's not about rare. It's a fantastic experience. Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis could be my top director of my life. And I'm not talking from my butt. I mean, if people say that he's not good, just watch Forrest Gump. That we're gonna watch Forrest Gump in 100 years, and it's gonna be still good. Gonna be a good movie.
Agreed.
What I'm saying is that there's a lot of things that are happening for this movie to be done. The marketing, the budget, the influences in Hollywood, even the strike could be a possibility. Because the statement that Disney is doing is like, you can be in a strike. I'm going to still continue doing my movie because I don't need you. I'm going to have this digitalized. That's the position of the studio. Let's not forget that it's not actors making the movie. They already did their part. It's the studio. So it's a power thing. Everything in Hollywood is power. Everything.
Right. And I wanted to. I wanted to point out because I was just thinking about this. Think about the older people that grew up with the original Snow White, the 1939 version, and they're gonna be so disappointed.
I
Like
don't
think
think they're
about
gonna watch it.
no.
My mom born in 1939, and her first memory of a movie is Snow White. And of course, she's influenced by me when I told her mom is gonna be a piece of crap. But as you know, Jake, my mother has master's degrees in Egyptology and Roman Empire, and if I watch a movie, she's watching it too, right? More when I'm visiting her. But if not, I'm watching it online, and we connect the Apple TVs and we watch the same thing. Of course, I don't think they're gonna watch it really because it's not for them. Because a
Mhm.
real person, first of all, sadly, my mom is 84. There's not a lot of people that watch this movie in that generation per se. The
Mhm.
generation that watch Ariel being red hair or Aladdin are two different generations, and it's three different generations before the Snow White. I agree with you, but I don't think they're not gonna watch it because it's out of their scope of perception of what is new.
Mhm.
There's people, believe it or not, that they believe that the Star Wars, and we have the second episode of Toon Talk. There's
Mhm.
people that believe that Kylo Ren is as strong and powerful as Darth Vader because they're kids and they're impressionable.
Mhm.
They watch and they go, "Oh, he take the helmet off," right? Like we watch Star Wars and go, "Oh, he and again, it's a business and it's marketing. And I'm not
Mhm.
defending the movie. Please don't mistake me with this. I'm not defending the movie.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is it's important to consider every simple fact, and we need to do a how you say with the morgue, with
Oh,
the
an
body dies.
autopsy.
The autopsy.
We
Yep.
need to we're doing an autopsy of why this movie is gonna be this.
Well,
Right.
part of it, and I think probably the biggest part of it though, is Disney. And I don't think it's because they acquired Marvel and Lucasfilm, but it was around the same time that you saw this shift where, up until very recently, Disney's mode of being, their singular purpose in what they created was timelessness. Because up until very recently, like Disney had a tradition of, they would release a movie and then put it back in the vault, and then after 10 or so
Mhm.
years they'd bring it out again. The whole point was to get different generations exposed to it, and they did it so well. I remember when I was young, I saw it's the one that pokes out for me. I saw Oliver and Company thinking it was a new movie. It wasn't. It was made before I was born.
Yeah.
The Rescuers, the first one, I thought it was a new one because The Rescuers Down Under came out when I was very, very young.
Mhm.
I thought they were much closer together. It wasn't until I was much older that I realized, oh wow, this is much older. And as a
Mhm.
kid, A, I didn't care, and
Yeah.
B, it was presented as something new because Disney would
Yeah.
advertise their older movies on their new releases with whatever was coming out of the vault. 101
Mhm.
Dalmatians. I thought that was new when I was a kid. It wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Same with
now,
me.
yeah, but now they've switched their focus to, or at least it seems, the timelessness, the magic of the timelessness seems to be gone. And that might be because I'm a cynical adult now, but I don't think so because Pixar still, the occasional Pixar movie still moves you in that way.
I think.
I forget how old Finding Nemo is all the
You know
time.
who built Pixar? Who was the original owner of Pixar?
Well, it wasn't Steve Jobs. He,
It was.
oh, he did found it, didn't he? Yes, you're right.
Mhm.
So that's exactly what Pixar movies have, that integrity of moving on to the right path. And not
Mhm.
because he was Steve Jobs, it's because the culture of the company. Right now, the culture of Disney is give them what they want because we need to sell tickets and we need to sell stuff to pay the salaries of the people that are complaining in the streets. I mean, let's be honest. There's a war in Gaza, right? There's last month was in Lebanon, and sorry, in Libya, thousand people died. uh, the shooter in Maryland, and the world is going to shed. But you're welcome to the best place on earth. No, 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 no. Right? If it was a company with how many
Mhm.
times you see it, a special prices or entrance for special needs or things special in Disney? No, you need to get in, and then they treat you a little better.
Yeah.
But the culture of the company isn't like that. Go ahead, Haley.
Which I take offense to because I'm handicapped, so I'm like, Disney, let a wheelchair user in a movie do it, please.
Yeah, but you see, they don't care. They don't care, Haley, because
Yeah,
that's the culture of the company.
yeah.
And now let's not forget why we're here, right? And remember, in 2012 we have Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yep.
That was a variation of Snow White, but they did
The
the
little
right
Princess
things. At
Sword.
least don't say in a Snow White remake. They say some right, and they name it Snow White and the Huntsman. And we have Charlize Theron and Thor, Chris Hemsworth, and Kristen Stewart, and it was a really bad movie too.
I
Oh, it was terrible.
guarantee you it won't be quite as bad as this one.
I don't
Oh
know. This
no,
one
nothing
has a
bad as this
6.1.
one.
Well, that's actually a really good segue to talk a little bit more about Daily Wire. Now, I gave Daily Wire a little grief for this, but I guess it was in the works longer. They just chose to announce it on the anniversary, or
Mm-hmm.
I forget which anniversary it was. Like, I get what they're doing. And at the same time, and for those, because for some reason on this podcast, people think I'm like this super pro Trump Republican, and it's like you clearly don't watch because I give enough grief on all sides. But I appreciate Daily Wire as a company. I think they're extremely brave. Well, not brave, but I think they're ballsy for doing what they're doing. And they just released their new children's streaming service, Bentkey. Now I think they released it prematurely because I don't think they have quite enough content yet. But I mean, just look at their numbers. It's staggering. Now, if I could give, and they would listen to one piece of my advice, I'm concerned that Daily Wire Snow White is going to be mitigated and not a true challenge because I think it's going to be limited to their platform.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should really try to go for a theatrical release. They will be releasing it a year earlier than Disney now because they delayed.
I got a question for you. Do you think it's a publicity stunt?
No, they're actually making it. Now, I think
How they're making it without actors is my question, Jake.
it's a non-union project.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of I have those questions for you because I love Brett Cooper and I think she's extremely smart and she got a really perspective in the work, but she's not an actress. Not because she was a third area actress in one movie that make you an actress. So I know that compared to what we're talking, I if they're smart enough and that's great, but I don't think it's gonna be a good movie either because she's not an actress.
I don't think it will be a movie that changes the way we look at cinema because the one thing I can say for pretty much all the Daily Wire movies I've seen thus far, both their documentaries and their scripted stuff, is they're technically sound, meaning there's not glaring errors in filmmaking. They're, I guess, adequate would be. However, I was kind of impressed by the trailer because they're putting some money into this, so at least it will look good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the trailer. Uh,
It's a
I'm going
very
by.
yeah, it's a very limited teaser trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, it does strike me as a bit odd to see Brett Cooper dress as a princess because I'm not used to seeing her that way. But I
Well,
mean,
she's really pretty
but I guess
she knows how to behave.
but I guess my point is, it's like Daily Wire is talking a big game, so I guess what I'm really saying is put your money where your mouth is. You think
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be that much better? Get a wide theatrical release. Let's see it. Now, they probably won't be able to because I can't imagine they're going to be able to persuade a distributor to pick up a Daily Wire movie.
Mm-hmm.
At least not a
Yeah,
big
but
one.
even so, if it's done by for their fans, they're doing exactly what Disney is doing. They're just doing it for their audience.
Yeah, I know, but I guess because they can always say it's like, well, I'm going to do a terrible Ben Shapiro impression. It's like, well, yeah, of course we didn't do the same numbers that Disney did. We didn't have a wide theatrical release. It's like, well, whose fault is that? You didn't even try.
Right.
And that's the one criticism I have of Daily Wire as a company because they can always fall back on it's like, well, we're behind a paywall and it's a little bit different. It's like, well, who put the paywall? I don't see you
Mm-hmm.
trying to get anything really super far
Hopefully,
out there.
Right.
Jake, hopefully, this is a real movie and it's not a publicity stunt. Because I just saw the teaser right now. It looks like a publicity stunt. Her makeup is not movie-wise, they solve it with a simple two shots matter. I would love to see it.
Oh no, they're
The more I
making it.
see it.
They're making it. They did make that teaser very quick. They said so. They said so. And Daily Wire is really good, which this is conservatives, period. Daily Wire is very good at reacting to things. They're not
I mean, they have the infrastructure to do it.
yeah, but they're not.
I would probably respect. Sorry, if it's a publicity stunt, I will respect them more.
Oh no,
Because
they're
doing
making
exactly the same point.
They're
I'm
making-
looking at it right now.
yeah, they're making the movie. It's supposed to be released in 2024.
How much we gonna bet right now, Jake? That is a publicity stunt.
It's not. If it-
No. Let's do it for the fans that listen to the podcast.
Oh, I'll take that bet. What's the wager? $1?
No. Remember the dance that the guy does in the Goonies? What was
Yeah.
the dance?
The truffle shuffle?
The truffle shuffle. If it got released in the date that they're saying, not before nor after, I will do the truffle shuffle without a shirt.
You're
I will
on.
get the tropical shirt and open and do the truffle. Same. I will put my hair like that. But if it's not released in that date, oh my friend, they're gonna make you viral. I promise I will put everything on.
I've already been chopped in the chest on YouTube, and that didn't go viral.
But I think that this. So everyone in the comments, please watch this podcast and all the podcasts from Arena Media. That they're fantastic. Thank you, boss Jake, and let's see. Hopefully is.
Well, what have they even announced? They've only said 2024 that I'm aware of.
What, are you backing up my flag?
No,
Or
I'm
do you
seeing
like
if they
chicken?
have. Well, I can't very well adhere to a release date if they haven't made one yet.
Do you think that I'm a dumb person, Jake?
Well, what's the release date? That's all I'm.
I'm asking. Do you think I'm dumb?
No, not at all.
Why the hell do you think I was so specific with the rules of the contest?
Right, but they haven't given a release date other than 2024.
You already accept, bro. So what do you want me to say? If they say 2027, you will have to wait. If they say before,
Well, okay, so if it's released in 2024, I win.
no. The opposite. I said the exactly date. When they say the date,
They haven't given an exact date, though. That's my point.
you see, you don't know marketing like Disney and me knows.
No. You're reaching, my friend, because the only thing they've said that I'm aware of is 2024.
Well, hopefully comes next year. I really
Uh,
think it's a publicity stunt because the whole point, in my perception, the whole point that is to create a movie that is just gonna see in their platform is bring attention to the platform, correct?
oh, sure.
They're bringing the same attention with this teaser because they're hitting the point.
Well,
They're doing exactly that.
okay. Daily Wire Plus announces the live-action remake of Snow White coming to Bentkey in 2024.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what it says. And has 3.3 million views. The 2 weeks ago, the teaser, you can go and watch it in the Daily Wire plus the channel in YouTube and watch it. And I can destroy it. A cinematography can destroy it right now. But I mean, I like her. She looks good.
I'm just I'm really confused because it still says it's coming out in 2024, but yet Rachel Zegler in interviews has done nothing but trash the original. If you've seen her
She
interviews.
hates the original.
Well, I just read this. Disney, I guess, postponed their movie until 2025.
Okay.
But yeah, let's talk about Rachel Zegler for a minute because, like I said, overall I liked her. I had a lot of goodwill going in. I was like, you know what? Maybe she'll pull it off. Then I saw her in the outfit, and I'm like, that's a bit too literal. But hey, but then it was really her conduct in interviews. It's like, explain to me any other job where you can get hired to do something that theoretically you've always dreamed of doing. Like, she gets to play a Disney princess. She gets to play the Disney princess, the first one.
The number one.
And then she proceeds to, at every point, trash the original.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the ride scared me as a kid. I only watched it once. She's not going to fall in love with the prince.
It's
How old
not
is she?
1939 anymore.
Yeah.
How old is she?
Rachel Zegler, what is she, like 22? 20?
To my point, she's a leader of opinion for the consumers that they just like to talk trash about the past.
Well, and
That's why
some,
she got selected.
but the difference is, oh wow, I was right. She is 22. Um, Here's the difference, though. I'm not saying you shouldn't hire a 22-year-old actress for a role, but when you have someone, and even older than that, but would still be considered young, the adults in the room need to rein her in, and
Yep.
they never ever did
Yep.
because they were loving it.
Because they were loving it because this and I don't want to sound like the asshole that pretends to know everything, because I'm not. I'm just putting my point of view. Of course, I respect everyone's point of view in the comments and everything. Please comment. But if I go right now and do the travel shuffle, right, and I course against the president, maybe somebody look at it, then I become viral, and then a magazine will call me, so my PR will call me, and my PR have more job, so I can raise my rate, and then the agent that I have in LA will tell me, guess what? Because you did that. So again, when this category or genres in this time, they need to go do things obscene, because the competition is so vast. Let's not forget that everyone can make a movie with their phone. Yes, you need to go to school. Yes, you need to know, right? But you can make a full movie with your phone. Uh,
Well,
I'm
but to that end, that like just everything going on and all the major studios fucking up left, right, and center. You would think, and like you said, it's never been easier from a technical standpoint.
and
Now's
for a
the
creative
yeah,
AI too.
yeah, but now's the time, and yet is it? This is a legitimate question. In your estimation, is it laziness? Is it what? Why are we not seeing just this uproar of creativity?
Commodity, marketing commodity. Probably we're all wrong. You, Haley, me, and you, Jake. And Gal Gadot is like, what I need to do this to this agent, and the agent is like, because Disney is paying us, and Disney is telling you to do this piece of shit. Why? Because they created this, because it's more consumable, because it's creating more energy and more attention than another base version, because they tried in
Mhm.
2012
Mhm.
and it didn't work.
Well,
I'm
I
just
just
saying.
feel, I just feel like it's also laziness because, like Jake, like we said earlier, like they've changed some of the songs, and I think what I read was like only like two or three songs of the original movie made it, which I don't understand.
The
Well,
world changed when Steve Soderbergh shot a movie with an iPhone, and everyone thought that they could shoot a movie with an iPhone, and everybody started doing videos in YouTube. So
yeah.
now
Yep.
the movie can't be as perfect as a perfect movie, because
Hmm.
it doesn't bring attention. Who won the best movie last Academy Awards?
Wasn't that Everything Everywhere All at
Parasite.
Once?
Yeah,
Have you seen that movie, Jake?
No, it's on my list. I need to.
it's bad.
Have you, Haley? It's
It's
bad.
bad.
I
It's
couldn't
bad.
I couldn't watch more than 15 minutes and I took it out. But the common Joe, like, oh, it's amazing. I never seen this. It's like, dude, it's a political movement for the
Mhm.
Asian investors to push their agenda. And that's what Disney is selling with this, in my perception. Probably I'm
Mhm.
totally wrong. Probably somebody flip a coin and they decide, fuck it, let's bring that
Yep.
actress. Or
Well,
but
but something that just I just started thinking about, and I notice it all the time, and I can't believe I didn't make the connection. Is hypothetical. Is it laziness, or have either of you noticed this? It's not super recent, but I'd say within the last 5 or so years, it's gotten really bad, where it's become almost cool to shit on. Most people shit on their jobs, but like just to shit on everything, like it's
I've
really
noticed that. Yeah.
people shitting on the job. When did this become cool? Like, when did it become cool to shit on the place that it provides your livelihood? Especially when you get into like the super professional fields like Rachel Zegler. When did it become not just cool? When did it become acceptable? Like, I can remember a
when
time, and I'm not that old. I can remember a time where if you mouthed off about your employer or your boss or your financier or whoever,
Mhm.
they'd just kick your ass to the curb unless you were like the top of the top of the top. And even then, there
That's
was probably still a conversation.
that's what I expected because her employer is Disney.
Yeah, but probably she's doing it under orders of Disney. Is what I'm trying to say.
That's the only way I can fathom that she's talking
Yeah.
like that and not fired.
Yeah.
Because somebody told you need to talk trash about it because I want you to be different. I want you to be edgy. I want people to look at us because there's a lot of things happening in the world. So because we need to look at you now. The actor doesn't get paid in Hollywood to act.
Right.
He gets paid to promote.
Right. But if you look at past Disney remake video interviews, Haley Bailey didn't talk shit. Lily James, who was Cinderella, didn't talk shit. None of the other Disney princesses talked shit in interviews.
Yeah,
She's the
but
only
probably
one.
this is a different team.
I was gonna say
Probably this is a different team.
I think I might be learning from you, Virus, because my first thought on that, because you're right, Haley, this is the first time, especially to this magnitude. Like there might have been a little tongue-in-cheek joke here and there, but
Yeah.
not to that level of perceived hatred. But like I said, Virus, I think I might be learning from you a bit because maybe they've seen the reactions to their live action remakes and maybe they're like, oh, maybe we need to stink this bed up a bit before we have them lie down in it so that they walk out and say, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Or forget about that. Now we're gonna go and watch it, even we know it's gonna be bad. We're gonna go and watch it to see how bad it was. So at the end of the day, when you pay a ticket, they're making money and recovering the money. Because what happened with the Little Mermaid? We were expecting good things, whatever. People saw it, and that's it. Now, I think it's calling what is called marketing contra-attack of perception. That what they're doing is talking shit about it, so we know it's gonna be bad. So we're gonna go to see how bad it is. Remember the publicity of Beetlejuice? You guys are too young for that. Beetlejuice was like that. I'm way older than you, Haley, and Jake.
I'm excited
It's just
for the
it's the
second
Botox.
Beetlejuice.
It's just the Botox aside. You guys remember the Matrix? You guys were too young for the Matrix.
No,
the Matrix.
I vividly remember when the Matrix came out.
I don't remember the Matrix.
But
I'm too young.
The whole marketing was no trailers, no nothing, just posters and billboards says what is the Matrix. That's it. So they create this enigma what we're talking about. But in that exactly time, our top show in America was Jerry Springer. So think how everything is connected. There's marketing devices and tools. Yes, I was already in college, Jake. Shut the hell up.
I was just gonna say, man, wasn't Y2K a hell of a time? A lot of good shit. A lot of good shit came out in 1999 and 2000.
Yeah, but the world was ending. Everything's gonna go to shit. Everything is chaotic.
Not by 2000. We bought 12 more years after we made it through that.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying is the perception. I really believe that everything that we're watching, not after this talk with you guys, is that what we're seeing with Snow White is a really control fucked up with a damage control to talking trash about it to bring people to the audience and recover the assistance to the audience to the movie theaters. That big is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think this is a hustle to help the movie theaters recover?
I'm gonna call it Snowgate.
Snowgate 2024, 2025.
I mean, think about it. If a marketing guy in Disney, not a marketing guy, a marketing team in Disney actually came with this plan, for a reason they're Disney in everything they do. And watch this. I got your plan. I know what you're talking about. Sorry, that was for the person that created. I really think that, and I really think somebody in the wire saw that, and that's what they do in that publicity stunt as well. But the truffle shuffle will talk. Snowgate hopefully doesn't become a snow hate. Right?
Snowgate 2024. Someone should hashtag that.
Well,
that will be fantastic. Trademark
it, Snowgate.
Snowgate. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we need to wait to see and figure it out if it's as bad as we're expecting. But for the moment, it's having a stock. Let's remember that Donald Trump became a president of the most powerful nation in the world doing that. So people follow trends.
Mhm.
Well, and then there's the cynical side again too. So even if this movie is just the absolute shits, Disney will still make money, but it will also, because YouTube is a wonderful thing. The internet is a wonderful thing. So everybody's shitting on the new Snow White and they say, "You know what? I feel like going back and watching the original."
Of course, and guess what? How you do that?
Disney
Buying
Plus,
Disney
baby.
Plus. Baby, we nail it. This is just a marketing device. Everything that we've seen. What do you think? Back in the day, when an actor passed, they just find somebody to replace them. They
Yep.
mourn him. Now, in the Fast and the Furious, we keep seeing a scene with CGI where Paul Walker goes.
I hate to say it too, like I keep saying I won't see the new Snow White live action, and I keep forgetting I have to because of my podcast.
You
Yep.
see? And like us, there's people that do podcasts, news, magazine, interviews, social media. We're gonna watch it, and guess what? The genius behind this, whoever it is in marketing in Disney, nail it again.
See, yeah, you bring up a good point, Haley, because I had to sit through the Batman because of this fucking
Yeah.
podcast.
I don't want to, Jake. I don't want to.
Forget about it, Healy. I need
Tough
another
luck, you
podcast
signed
to
up. We
join.
own you now.
Yeah.
Ironically, while
Yeah.
criticizing Disney.
I think that this is just a Snowgate 2024. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you guys, because you're the guys that opened the Pandora's box. I knew about the movie, and
You
I
just
was
looked.
just, eh.
You just looked in.
I
Well,
just
you
don't-
told me last week about it, so I
Yeah.
went deep
I
into
wanna shut it.
it.
How pissed off do you think Peter Dinklage is, though? Really,
Oh.
really.
I bet he's so angry.
Well,
So
because
pissed.
if ever there was somebody who was tailor made to play Grumpy,
Oh my god, yes. Yep.
and it's not just him. I actually did. I looked on IMDb. There are 10 dwarf actors that are considered. There's more than 10, but there are 10 that are considered A-list actors.
But wait, do you think that they're angry?
They should be.
The other 7 that they were already in the movie and called mom and say, "Mom, I'm gonna be in a Disney movie."
There's
Then
that too.
called it, guess what? Game over. People don't know how hard it is when they put you into a movie and you're waiting to watch the movie and then they cut your scene.
And not only that, but I thought I saw somewhere that they changed all of the dwarfs' names.
Yeah, I believe they did.
Well,
And-
because could be offensive for this generation, Brad's generation.
Oh my God! Adjectives.
Sleepy? Dopey?
Yeah,
Well, dopey
don't call
might
me
be.
sleepy.
Oh, no, don't
Don't
be.
be. But if people, if
Don't-
you call somebody sleepy, well, not in my company, Haley, but in real, in complaining, I got invited to do a documentary that I'm working in for young actors that are doing Shakespeare.
Mhm.
And it amazes, it's in the city of Portland. That is different than in LA, right? It looks like I'm in Germany compared to LA. And it's weird for me till the day that when they introduce each other starting every exercise, they say adjective. Her, him, they, and I get extremely confused. But then everything glorified in front of me, right? When one really smart 15-year-old girl, instead of saying her, she, right? He said, I just use all.
But I don't understand. How is like happy and sleepy and bashful?
I
like,
think a sleepy could be
offensive?
offensive because you're calling him lazy.
Well, I find sleepy offensive. I suffer from narcolepsy, and I feel that I feel attacked.
Okay.
Totally it.
Tell us every name and we're going to tell you how offensive it could be. Haley, you start.
Okay.
So I don't know it, but I know it in Spanish. I don't know
Alright.
it in English.
I just cracked my knuckles. How about happy?
So
Gay.
you're saying that I'm not able to feel sadness and understand the world because I'm always happy?
Grumpy.
I don't have to do that. Come on.
I'm sorry I suffer from a mood disorder and
sorry
depression.
that I got anxiety and I don't have to complain to all your needs. Yeah.
You know what? I don't have to smile for you.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
happy all the
exactly.
time.
I'm not that
You see me
guy.
clapping my hands.
That guy.
Well, you called him happy. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I mean, to the point of this is like everybody are trying to be special. This is funny because before COVID, it was a generation that needed to create their suffering to have something. They didn't have the first war, the second war. They didn't have Vietnam. They didn't have the Gulf. They didn't have Bush. I mean, Clinton craziness with his assistant Monica Perfectly Whiskey.
Hey,
So they
man.
didn't have anything to narrate. So they need to create. But now we had COVID, and they are not embracing it as their generation icon because that's not good because it's a virus. That's what my name is, virus, to remind everyone that.
But you know what offends me though? That they changed the names because it's like, how is Sneezy?
Are you calling me a drug addict?
Or do you have something against allergies?
Because I have allergies because I can
You know,
I can with the
It
strain.
must be really nice to be able to breathe in the summer. That's all I'm
Can you
saying.
do that exactly that like Donald Trump, please?
Listen, all I'm going to say about that is that it must be really nice it must be really nice to be able to breathe in the summer. Some of us can't. Some of us have the same respiratory issues that they do in China without being in China.
That's so funny, man.
And I'll tell you
That's
something
so
else. Say what you will about the Clinton years, but you gotta admit they were a lot of fun.
I know, man. I every time that Monica Lewinsky opened her mouth, something good is gonna come out of it. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Everyone, whoever that understood that understood it.
Well, neither could Bill.
Damn it. I mean, it's just something became public that it's been forever. So.
To be fair, I was probably high as a kite.
Well, to be honest, I prefer a horny president and an ex-actor billionaire president than somebody that falls asleep and confuses one country to another. But this is not a political podcast.
Not this particular one.
This episode, I'm not a political guy. I'm just a guy that criticizes everything that doesn't seem right. But you see, we make a living doing that, Haley. How we can complain people because they complain.
I'd love to live in a world where, and we do occasionally sing the praises of things. Sorry, Haley, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I was gonna say, like, are you guys talking about the president that couldn't find the stairs?
Jesus Christ!
I know.
They say keep going straight, and then he goes to the left. Yeah.
I know, Gerald Ford, man.
Oh my God! You know what? The president that we have now is not as bad
as Gerald Ford.
I'm just kidding.
You know what? It's worth saying this. You want to talk about perception? Gerald Ford fell down one time. Once.
He fell down the stairs.
But you want to know what the difference is? Is they didn't make fun of Biden. Well, they didn't do an SNL skit with Chevy Chase making fun of Biden. They did that with. Wow, my brain just stopped.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Ford.
It's the snow that is affecting you.
Yeah, they did it with Ford. Chevy Chase did one skit on SNL. Well, no, they brought it back, but it started with one skit.
You cannot make fun of Biden because yes, Ford fell from the stairs. Biden didn't notice that he fell from the stairs. That he never know that they were there. His brain is not there to realize that.
So. Come on, man. Why are you sandbagging him?
Because he's a really bad president, bro. And I don't want to go deep into that, but I prefer to talk about 10 bad Snow Whites than going to war again.
He's such a bad president. He's probably going to love the new Snow White.
Well, of course, because of a Small White, that's going to call the actress a Small White, you can smell her hair right away when you hug her. So that's what Biden is going to love this movie. Small White. The Small White from Whitegate. I mean, Snowgate, 2024.
Oh my God!
All right, I think we're going in circles. I'm gonna shut up now.
Yep, it's about
Thank you for
time.
the invite.
It's about time.
Yep, it's about time. But yeah, I mean, we accomplished everything we did.
Hmm.
We
You told me to
accom-
destroy Snow White.
we accomplished everything we set out to do.
Oh
And
dear, not the Trump impression.
I love Uncle Trump. I want him back.
Uncle Trump loves you, virus.
Thank you, Uncle Trump. You know what? Do you see what he said a couple of days ago? That he's gonna have the biggest immigration, kicking every legal out of the country, and that's pretty cool because it cost me a lot of lawyers to be legally here, not the ones that they didn't pay. I'm gonna tell you how you can become president in America in 3 days. Are you ready? Just give every illegal the right to vote in exchange for papers. Half of the country will vote for you.
Oh
Period.
yeah.
And the country in a year with the first taxes, right, will go to the top. Easy like that. So Uncle Trump, just make my cousins legal.
I literally am like thinking of just running against just me running against Biden to see if I win because I would be a better president. I mean,
I'll vote for you, Haley.
You
have my
don't
vote.
you don't stand a chance against me, 'cause I'm a winner. I never
Look, he's a
lose.
winner.
I
He
never
got the hot
lose.
international wife. He got the money, and he was in Home Alone. Period. He's gonna win.
He's in Home Alone too. Yes, that was a very
yeah.
good solid cameo.
Hey,
Hey, when they make
actually he talk. He got a he talks. So it's pretty good.
yeah, he gave Kevin directions if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he gives
Yep.
you in direction
Mhm.
to the park. Thank you so much, Jake, for having me here. Nice to meet you, Haley. I
Nice
hope
to
we
meet
do
you
this again.
too.
Very, very good. Well, everyone, thank you for enjoying this episode of the Average. Oh, Virus, we forgot the sponsor. Would you like to share before we go? Share the
And you
information
put
about.
me into the spotlight. I didn't prepare that, Jake. I prepared a Snow White today, man. I need to read it. I don't have it with me. Don't
Well,
do that.
no. There's long story short. Listen, do you like Dungeons and Dragons? Do you like to play Dungeons and Dragons? And would you like to win $5,000? Guess what? You can do all of it. There is
Yeah,
there's a link to basically we did a press release part a version of the press release is on the Arte Media blog. There is a link in the description below if you would like more information. But we are looking for players, and the winners of the game share the $5,000 prize, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if you're the sole winner, you get the whole 5,000.
correct. I don't know if people are watching, but I'm looking for the name. I got it now. Ultimate International Role Playing Battle Royale that you will be playing online with us. You will be invited. You will have surprises, and the survival. Every campaign, right, is built together by many stories. The survivors of the campaign, the winners being one. If you're a chaotic evil and you decide to kill your mates at the end of the last story to keep $5,000, well, you're welcome. But if you're a good paladin and you're gonna defend the other ones to separate everything equally, you are welcome. It's gonna be played in English. It's gonna be the second edition rules that they are the ones that they are better known for the dungeon masters that they are legendary that we bring in. So if you want to do that, welcome to the International Battle Royale of Dungeons and Dragons.
Now, what's going to be cool about this, though, and we're still kind of bouncing around ideas, but I'm telling you, I cannot wait to watch this. This is how I know it's going to be good because I want to watch it because it's going to be very, very unique. NPCs are going to be actors that are brought into the thing, like full blown actors with makeup.
Yeah.
You know, you're hiring. I'm not saying hiring, but you've got actors as dungeon masters.
Correct. We have something really special because we want the people that are listening to the podcast to feel the energy, not just some people talking about playing. They're going to be playing. We're going to invite our characters to feel the magic. And I got good news for you, Jake. I talked to our lawyers. I'm going to be able to play. But whatever, if I win, I'm going to donate There's $5,000 completely to the association that the people vote for us to do. So I'm gonna be able to play.
Very
So
cool.
be careful because I'm a neutral evil, and if I survive, I will kill you all to give the money to the kids. Sorry, but yeah,
Well,
we're gonna.
that's a touch ironic, isn't it? I'm going to
I
be
know.
evil and kill you all so I can give money to the children.
Call me Darth Vader.
Well, Darth Vader killed a bunch of kids.
Yeah, to control the galaxy. He's the good guy in the movie. How many times I gotta tell you this? The
Oh, that's
stupid
a
17-year-old kid came to destroy the galaxy and the balance in the force.
Darth
Anyway.
Vader also cut off his own son's arm. Let's just.
Hey, call him a little rough. If I had a son one day and he grabbed my saber, I'm gonna go like this. He's a little rough. He can chop it. Think about it. If you're touching too much, Luke, I'm gonna chop your hands off. He did it. He was 17. He was in love with his sister. I will
That's
do the
just bad
same.
parenting.
The only reason he was in love with his sister is because his father wasn't around to tell him it was his sister.
No. Wait. The mom was so dramatic. Poor Anakin was so dramatic that, oh, I'm not with you. I'm gonna die. Come on, fight, woman. Why you're not a Latina that brings those kids up? Fight.
Well,
Poor
to be
Anakin
fair,
is the hero.
if she'd have been Latina, it would have been a very different movie because she wouldn't have just passed out. She would have thrown a chancla at his face.
I was gonna tell you it wouldn't be Sables. It's gonna be the way that you treat a Jedi is a chancla. Can you throw the chancla? I'm gonna do the Matrix thing.
Oh my god, my favorite meme I've ever seen is it's screenshots from Revenge of the Sith, and it's the whole like you turned her against me thing because it's a play on Revenge of the Fifth after May the Fourth be with you. But he said you turned her against me, and then it cuts to that shot of Obi-Wan in the ship, but Obi-Wan's got a big drawn-on mustache and a sombrero.
Yeah, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. And his best friend Juan Solo.
Oh.
And everybody knows that Chewbacca was Mexican because he's Chewy.
Chewie.
What's up, Chewy? Right? And R2D2 was Mexican too, was Arturito. Arturito. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there. Thank you very much. But this is not Toon Talk. You say goodbye.
Oh, I'm going to. I just wanted to make sure people knew. So if you want to play Dungeons and Dragons and possibly win some money, if nothing else, you'll have a ton of fun and it's going to be great. And the great thing about what we do here is you never know. It could always lead to bigger and better things. No promises, but it's very possible.
I got a question. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
This is my first podcast live ever.
No. The first one I did with you guys was live.
Yeah.
This is my first one,
I've been on lives before with Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first one as a host live in my life.
This is true.
So every stupid things that I say is forever. I don't have Nino to edit it. Damn, sorry, audience.
Oh,
I also wanted to mention too, my girlfriend was like watching the entire time.
Thank you.
Hi, girlfriend. Mine didn't care about the podcast.
Does she play Dungeons and Dragons?
I believe so.
So, can I make an announcement?
Another one? Go for it.
Yes. We are going to premiere a new podcast in Already Media called
Another one.
Again and Forever, the podcast. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're trying to push this now that it's live. We're going to try to create the first podcast reality show. I'm not going to be sitting down here. I'm going to be moving. You guys are going to be seeing everything that the band does and how we engage everything with our producer. What is the name of the producer, Jake? The French guy that you're bringing, please?
Oh.
Chardonnay.
Monsieur right? Chardonnay.
So it's going to be a really fun podcast that you're going to learn everything about the band. But you're going to see just more than just talking. You're going to see the band interacting with each other. So it's going to be really good.
So basically, we're going to watch you annoy the shit out of Ego?
Oh, hell yeah. You're going to see Virus. This is Max. This is coursing a lot intelligent comments. Virus is a jerk.
Alrighty. Well, you have a lot to look forward to, fans of the various podcasts. But as far as tonight, thank you for enjoying this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. Hopefully you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent, but we apologize in advance for disappointing you. If you prefer to listen to the podcast as opposed to listening, I mean, because this is the Average Intelligence Podcast. It's not professional. If you prefer to listen to the podcast rather than watch it, you can check us out on basically all the audio streaming platforms, including rtmedia.org, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Amazon. Basically, if it has podcasts, we're probably on there. YouTube Music being another one. And that's all we got, so go away.